Exclusive contract novel from Feilu Novel Network. Chatting Ghosts. Starting with Zhou Jie Breaking Defense. Lin Zhigang travels through time and discovers that he has been selected as a lucky audience by Zhou Jie, who is currently live streaming. Add friends. Ding. Congratulations to the host, bind to the strongest chat ghost system. Lin Zhi, who was bound to the strongest chat ghost system, couldn't help but smile as he looked at Zhou Jie across from him. Sister Zhou. Brother's waist is not his waist, the curved sword that killed Sanlang. Brother, are you here? Lin Zhi said, brother's hands are not hands. One punch makes you nauseous. Sister Zhou. Lin Zhi's words, Zhou Jie is going to live directly in Bengbu. The water enthusiasts in the live broadcast room are also hilarious. Congratulations to the host, you have received a negative emotion value of 99999 plus from Sister Zhou. Congratulations on the host's soaring popularity for hating others, with negative emotions hitting tens of thousands of times and obtaining one level 1 building from Tang Chen. From then on, Lin Zhi's sarcastic remarks can be seen everywhere on the internet. All the beautiful anchors are trying their best to connect with Lin Zhimai.Lin Zhi, it's completely on fire. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. I'm dead, but not completely dead. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Shihong City. Midnight. In a regular apartment room, Lin Zhi suddenly woke up from the bed. After a brief moment of confusion, Lin Zhi turned his head and began to look at the room he was in. What is this place? Shouldn't I work overtime at the company? Looking at the layout of the room, Lin Zhi felt a strong doubt in his heart. But just after Lin Zhi grumbled twice. Suddenly, I felt a sharp stabbing pain in my head. The sharp pain came and went quickly. But at that moment, the intense pain still made Lin Zhi involuntarily embrace his head. Immediately after, Lin Zhi felt many fragments of memory flooding into his mind. I'm dead, but not completely dead. I was actually reborn. After organizing the extra memories in my mind, Lin Zhi discovered that he died suddenly due to overwork at the company. And this person with the same name and surname as himself, also known as Lin Zhi. Because while watching Zhou Xiaoyi's live broadcast, I participated in a lottery activity in the live broadcast room and won her WeChat account. I was so excited that I suddenly died. By chance, I was reborn into this Lin Zhi. But after organizing everything about Lin Zhi, can only be described in 4 words. What kind of thing? I graduated from college almost a year ago and didn't have any savings because I had just been laid off by my employer while watching live broadcasts during working hours. I can't even afford the rent anymore, and I still have the intention to give the female anchor a prize draw. A few years ago, due to a sudden car accident, Lin Zhi became an orphan. Lin Zhi in this world has lived aimlessly until today. At this moment, Lin Zhi, who was still organizing his current situation, suddenly heard a voice in his mind. Ding! Congratulations to the host. The strongest chat ghost system has been successfully bound. System. Lin Zhi's brain crashed directly. Right. That's right. How could rebirth not come with a system? After reacting for a few seconds, Lin Zhi excitedly patted his thigh and said. Lin Zhi, who has always enjoyed reading online novels, is very clear about what the system is. Thinking of the protagonists in the novels, relying on the system, driving all the way, singing and advancing towards the peak of life, Lin Zhi couldn't help but get excited. System. What functions do you have? After excitement, of course, it's time to study the functionality of the system. This system is called the strongest chat ghost talent system. As long as the host chats with people and causes them to generate negative emotions, the system can absorb the negative values generated by them. The amount of negative face value obtained depends on the popularity of the protagonist's chat partner and the host itself. Negative face value can be used for the system's large turntable lottery, and the rewards obtained vary depending on the negative value required for the turntable. Is that all? It's gone. After the system's simple 3-sentence prompt sound is completed. After Lin Zhi waited for a few more seconds, the system prompt did not sound again. In the novels I used to read, various functions of the protagonist's system were constantly emerging. But how come you're on your own, just a few words, and then it's gone? Ding dong. Suddenly, another warning sound came on. Lin Zhi quickly focused and wanted to listen quietly. But after waiting for a while, I didn't hear the sound of the system again. Ding dong. Another warning sound sounded, and it was only then that Lin Zhi realized something was wrong. It seems that neither of these two warning sounds sounded in my mind. Following the sound, I saw that the phone on the computer desk next to the bed lit up. At this moment, Lin Zhi realized that he had just been reborn and had never noticed it. The laptop on the table has been on all along. The live broadcast of Zhou Xiaoyi is playing on the computer screen. Ding dong. At this moment, the phone placed next to the computer rang again. Lin Zhi stood up from the bed and picked up the domestic rice phone on the table. I saw the WeChat icon lit up on my phone screen. Lin stared at his phone for 2 seconds before realizing it and muttered. When you're so nervous, why are you joining in the fun? It's already so late, who would still send a message to Lin Zhi? Thinking of this, Lin Zhi opened his phone. After opening WeChat, I found that there was someone constantly adding their friends. And this person's WeChat avatar is exactly Zhou Xiaoyi sitting in front of the commentary seat in formal attire. When I saw this WeChat avatar, Lin Zhi remembered that his original identity was during the lottery in the live broadcast room. I drew Zhou Xiaoyi's WeChat account and got the opportunity to chat with her on screen in her live broadcast room. After realizing that he had won the prize, Ginchen was so excited that he couldn't control himself and rolled wildly in bed. But because he was too excited, he just hiccuped. Lin Zhi now looks at this original body with even the phone screen set to a photo of Zhou Xiaoyi. It seems to be a staunch fan of Zhou Xiaoyi. Unfortunately, the goddess shone into reality, but she disappeared. Chapter 2. Sister Zhou's wave of catfish throwing seeds. Bad luck. You are listening at novelfull.audio. As a heavy player in League of Legends, Lin Zhi naturally knows about Zhou Xiaoyi. However, it only stays at the level of knowledge and has not been deeply understood. Regarding Zhou Xiaoyi's evaluation, Lin Zhi only has one sentence. A good woman, why does she have a mouth? At this moment, Lin Zhi glanced at the live broadcast on the computer screen again. It turned out that Zhou Xiaoyi was currently holding her phone and explaining something in the live broadcast room. On the barrage, there were all the scrolling of water enthusiasts, and the speed of scrolling was too fast. Lin Zhi could only capture a few lines. What about the brother who won the prize? We need to see you two chat. That name looks familiar, he seems to be the #1 licking dog in Zhou Jie's fish bar. Really? I know him too. Hurry up and cast the screen. We need to watch Licking Dog. Isn't it true that even a recoil fighter can charge? Let me see this warrior now. Watching the comments of a few water enthusiasts floating rapidly on the barrage. Lin Zhi glanced at Xiaoyi's avatar last week on his phone again. There is also a sentence below the profile picture. Add me quickly, I am Zhou Xiaoyi. At this point, Lin Zhi discovered a problem. The computer screen is stuck in Zhou Xiaoyi's live broadcast room. But Lin Zhi did not hear any sound. After moving the mouse, Lin looked straight at the bottom right corner of the live broadcast room and suddenly widened his eyes. Lin Zhi was surprised to find that she had turned off the sound in the live broadcast room before watching Zhou Xiaoyi's live broadcast. Good guy, I thought you were just a licking dog, but I didn't expect you to be a bull and horse. Lin Zhi murmured in his heart. Then dragged the volume bar with the mouse to release the sound. You lascivious people will only make you live aimlessly every day. Just as Lin Zhi amplified his voice, he heard Zhou Xiaoyi's voice coming out. No, why do you think I need to turn on Blu-ray? You see, I don't need to turn on Blu-ray. Are you going to charge at me or what? Zhou Xiaoyi is wearing a pink baseball jacket and a pink baseball cap on top of her head. Brown hair naturally drapes over both sides of the neck. This kind of dress makes Zhou Xiaoyi look very pure. But as the voice let go, Lin Zhi understood why the original body had to turn off the sound before. After hearing Zhou Xiaoyi's words, Lin Zhi couldn't say the words, pure, to the woman in the live broadcast room anymore. The water enthusiasts in the live broadcast room are also frantically scrolling through the barrage. Charge at you. You think so beautifully. I would rather face my brother. Although XP is free, I still suggest you see a doctor. Shut up and attract thousands of soldiers and horses, open your mouth to scare off various lords. Water enthusiasts are frantically scrolling through the barrage. After a few clicks of the mouse in the live broadcast room, the dance music from GTA 5's famous strip club began to play. The water friend who drew my WeChat account has never added me. Since that's the case, let's wait for a while. After the music started playing, Zhou Xiaoyi said a sentence into the microphone and then sat on the chair twisting to the rhythm of the music. At this moment, Lin Zhi was also watching the live broadcast, but after experiencing Zhou Xiaoyi's tiger wolf words just now, watching Zhou Xiaoyi dance, I don't know why it feels very unlucky. Just as Zhou Xiaoyi started dancing, the barrage in the live broadcast room suddenly froze for a second. The rolling speed of the barrage started to get faster, and even due to too many barrages appearing at the same time, there would be lagging. But most of the bullet comments on the screen are not so much. Not so much. Afraid. However, just as the water enthusiasts in the live broadcast room were all afraid, Zhou Xiaoyi stood up to follow the rhythm of the music. Zhou Xiaoyi, who was originally dressed in pink, looked quite pleasing to the eye. But when she stood up, she revealed a pair of pure cotton pajamas. Although it was also pink, in an instant, the barrage in the live broadcast room changed its artistic style. Girl fans, yellow hair, seductive pajamas, I'll just. Sister Zhou, then it's okay. Gaiong is like a catfish tossing its seeds, still wearing pajamas, twisting a hammer. When she stood up, I felt like I saw the old lady dancing square dance. Lin Zhi was also unlucky as he watched the live broadcast. When he saw Zhou Xiaoyi stand up, it seemed as if she was jumping more and more vigorously. Those pure cotton pink pajamas, anyone who looks at them will immediately lose interest. Lin Zhi can't bear to watch it anymore, although those who can watch Zhou Jie's live broadcast have some strange attributes. But it's not enough to die. If this continues, the audience in the live broadcast room will lose interest in women. Thinking of this, Lin Zhi lowered his head and clicked agree on Zhou Xiaoyi's WeChat friend ad. Chapter 3. Straight Man, Iron Man. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ding dong. As Lin Zhi clicked to agree, Wei Xian's prompt sound also came from Zhou Xiaoyi's live broadcast room. After hearing this sound, Zhou Xiaoyi was immediately interrupted to cast spells. She dances because Lin Zhi has never added her friends. When Zhou Xiaoyi started broadcasting today, she set the theme of winning a lottery, adding WeChat, and teasing water friends. However, due to not being able to connect with friends, the number of viewers in the live broadcast room has started to decline significantly. So Zhou Xiaoyi had no choice but to have a wave of catfish throwing seeds. Although the audience in the live broadcast room are still browsing, they are not afraid. But this is just a meme for water enthusiasts. After this wave of rectification, the number of viewers has also increased, and there have been more bullet comments. However, upon hearing the prompt from WeChat, Zhou Xiaoyi still stopped twisting. Dancing can liven up the atmosphere. Today's live broadcast cannot deviate from the theme. So Zhou Xiaoyi arranged her sports chair and quickly sat down to play with the mouse. The music also paused as Zhou Xiaoyi sat down. Zhou Xiaoyi glanced at the barrage hanging on her computer and exclaimed in surprise. "Brothers! That winning water friend has added me as a friend." As he spoke, the scene in the live broadcast room also turned into a dialogue box between Lin Zhi and Zhou Xiaoyi. Lin Zhi hasn't spoken yet, only the sentence that automatically appears after successfully adding friends. After hearing Zhou Xiaoyi's words, the water enthusiasts in the live broadcast no longer played jokes on the barrage, but urged Zhou Xiaoyi to quickly chat with Lin Zhi. Zhou Xiaoyi watched as Lin Zhi didn't take the initiative to speak, so she took the lead in typing on the keyboard and said in the dialogue box. "Hello little brother, nice to meet you." Lin Zhigang was hanging in Zhou Xiaoyi's live broadcast room, watching the live broadcast screen. Zhou Xiaoyi entered text in the dialogue box and sent it out. Then my phone also shook a bit, and the words that Zhou Xiaoyi just entered also appeared in my WeChat account. Watching Zhou Xiaoyi typing and chatting with him made Lin Zhi feel a bit strange. Looking at the phone screen, last week Xiaoyi sent a message. Lin Zhi remembered the system prompt just now and muttered to himself. Just now, the system said that as long as negative emotions arise during chatting, you can receive rewards. So. Lin Zhi muttered to himself while lifting his head to look at Zhou Xiaoyi in the live broadcast room, his mouth curling slightly upwards. Isn't this a good opportunity? Just give it a try. After muttering a few more words, Lin Zhi put away his smile and began typing on his phone. Lin Zhi instinctively retorted Zhou Xiaoyi, "You're a bit too happy." As Lin Zhi's sentence was posted, it also appeared on the live broadcast screen. After saying hello on my WeChat account, Zhou Xiaoyi and Lin Zhi were boasting to their water friends in the live broadcast room. "Brothers, wait for me to use my unfashionable love words to confuse this brother soul upside down. I didn't blow it to you. My unfashionable love words have been refined to the highest level. I will feel soft after listening to them." As soon as Zhou Xiaoyi finished speaking, Lin Zhi's reply appeared on the live broadcast screen in the dialogue box. Seeing Lin Zhi's words, Zhou Xiaoyi was clearly stunned for a moment. After seeing Lin Zhi's reply, the audience in the live broadcast room also burst into laughter. The barrage also began to drift wildly. "Ha ha ha, do you want to laugh me to death and inherit my sesame flour? I'm numb, Sister Zhou is numb directly. This brother didn't follow the routine and played cards to numb Sister Zhou. Ha ha ha. Professional players are prohibited from participating. This brother is so handsome, he even laughed his head off. I'm looking for his head all over the place now." At that moment, Lin Zhi heard the system prompt sound ring again. Ding. Negative sentiment value +10. Sleeping trough, is this really okay? After hearing the system prompt, Lin Zhi stood up from the chair in surprise and exclaimed in amazement. The system only says to cause negative emotions in others, but it does not explain how to do so. So Lin Zhi also gave it a simple try. I didn't expect this to be really feasible. I used to think that negative emotions only arise when they cause harm to others. I didn't expect to be able to gain this negative emotional value by hating others, so I will know how to deal with it in the future. However, upon second thought, Lin Zhi realized that psychological harm is also harm. It seems that this negative emotion is only obtained by hurting others. Then Lin Zhi turned his gaze to the computer screen again. Lin Zhi naturally heard what Zhou Xiaoyi said in the live broadcast room just now. Looking at the live broadcast footage, Lin Zhi smiled and spoke to Zhou Xiaoyi, who was feeling confused. Unfashionable love talk. Then I, the straight King Iron Man, will accept your challenge. After being stunned for a while, Zhou Xiaoyi also regained her senses. Looking at the reply from Lin Zhi again, Zhou Xiaoyi almost peed. Why is this guy so unconventional? This week and next, Xiaoyi doesn't know how to reply, but now it's live streaming, and she can only find a way to grit her teeth and continue chatting. Chapter 4. The retirement of diabetes can't let her taste. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. But Zhou Xiaoyi glanced at the barrage and real-time viewership in the live broadcast room. Suddenly, it was discovered that the number of bullet comments was frantically scrolling across the screen, and the number of real-time viewers was also constantly increasing. Seeing this scene, Zhou Xiaoyi was slightly stunned. Is the program so effective? Looking at Lin Zhi's reply again, Zhou Xiaoyi savored it and realized that Lin Zhi's recovery was the most barrage response among many choices. Thinking of this, the corners of Zhou Xiaoyi's mouth also slightly curled up. My sharp intuition told Zhou Xiaoyi that today's live broadcast may have several more famous appearances, and her popularity is about to increase significantly. At this time, the water friends of the bullet screen have already started urging Zhou Xiaoyi to reply to Lin Zhi with unfashionable love words. Zhou Xiaoyi glanced at the bullet screen, pondered for a moment, and then tapped on the keyboard with both hands, typing a paragraph into the dialog box. What do you belong to, little brother? Lin Zhi has been watching Zhou Xiaoyi's live broadcast all along, thinking that if she doesn't know how to say a word, Zhou Xiaoyi can't resist. Let's end the chat. However, Lin Zhi immediately saw Zhou Xiaoyi typing in a paragraph. After seeing Zhou Xiaoyi's words, Lin Zhi's face also showed a faint smile. Finally, here we are, then let's give it a break. After muttering to himself, Lin Zhi began to snipe at Zhou Xiaoyi's center gate. I belong to dogs. After seeing Lin Zhi's reply, the audience in the live broadcast room immediately began to discuss. No way, brother. Isn't this all over? Take out your unique temperament from the previous sentence. If you reply like this, you will fall into Sister Zhou's trap. It's over, this brother is going to be tricked by Sister Zhou. Upon seeing Lin Zhi's reply, Zhou Xiaoyi also raised her lips and glanced at the barrage. She immediately began to brew emotions and typed in the dialog box. No, you belong to me. The audience began to worry when they saw that Zhou Xiaoyi began to launch the offensive of unfashionable love talk. Now many of the water friends who often watch Sister Zhou's live broadcast in the studio know how damaging her unfashionable love words are. So one by one, they began to discuss in the barrage. Sis. Here comes Sister Zhou's unfashionable love talk. Zhou Jie doesn't talk about martial arts, just sneak up and attack. Sister Zhou's words are too harsh. I don't know if this brother can withstand them. But Lin Zhi's rank is beyond the imagination of the audience in the live broadcast room. When Lin Zhi saw such entry-level unfashionable love words, he was totally expressionless and calmly replied. Ah, so you're a dog. Zhou Xiaoyi. Ding. Negative sentiment value plus 18. The newly brewed emotions of Zhou Xiaoyi were immediately silenced by Lin Zhi's criticism. The audience in the live broadcast room has now gone crazy with laughter, and the barrage is filled with ha-ha-ha drifting wildly. Ha-ha-ha. I'm laughing to death, I'm almost exhausted, I'm not moving forward. Miss Zhou has encountered her opponent, but she has been silenced, ha-ha-ha. This wave is Zhou Jie's flashy combo, but she was killed with one move. The barrage keeps scrolling, various GIFs are also frantically scrolling, and rocket planes are flying all over the sky. Lin Zhi, on the other hand, heard that he had gained 88 negative emotional points again, and his face also showed a happy smile. It's just that the negative emotion value was obtained, but the lottery wheel mentioned by the system has never appeared. Lin Zhi speculated that it was because the negative emotion values he had obtained were too low and enough to wake up the lottery, that they did not appear. However, looking at Zhou Xiaoyi on the live broadcast screen, Lin Zhi is not satisfied with what she sees now. Now, in Lin Zhi's eyes, Sister Zhou is like a strong leek, which naturally becomes pleasing to the eye. Although Zhou Xiaoyi was a bit speechless, seeing the popularity of the live broadcast room, she even felt a little ecstatic in her heart. So Zhou Xiaoyi adjusted her mindset again and thanked the audience for their gifts. Pretend not to see Lin Zhi's words, and continue the attack of unfashionable's love story. Can you please smile, little brother? I forgot to add sugar to my coffee. Lin Zhi sneered and pondered for 2 seconds before typing on his phone. Can water enthusiasts pee? She forgot to add sugar to her coffee. Zhou Xiaoyi. Ding. Negative sentiment value plus 30. Lin Zhi's wave directly affected the audience in the live broadcast room. And the audience was clearly very receptive to this, and the barrage immediately began to float on the screen. Ha ha ha. How can I not understand what he is saying? This guy is a talent, our role model. Those with diabetes should leave first, so that this woman cannot taste a little sweet. Chapter 5. Brothers' hands are not hands, one punch. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Upon seeing Lin Zhi's reply, Zhou Xiaoyi learned that Lin Zhi was also watching her live broadcast. On second thought, I thought it was normal. After all, it was Wei Xin who was just added in a lottery in the live broadcast room. However, after learning that Lin Zhi was in her own live broadcast room, a faint smile appeared on Zhou Xiaoyi's face. Since we can see ourselves, we can use more unfashionable love words. So, Zhou Xiaoyi continued her offensive. Zhou Xiaoyi. Little brother, take a look at the fabric of my clothes. Is it made for your girlfriend? After this sentence was posted, Zhou Xiaoyi in the live broadcast immediately took off her pink baseball jacket from her shoulders, revealing the white suspenders she was wearing inside. Then he cast a seductive glance at the camera. The audience in the live broadcast room immediately started quickly scrolling the screen when they saw Zhou Xiaoyi's appearance. Zhou Jie, come on, we don't have any feelings at all. Although we don't feel anything, we don't know how that brother is doing. Yes, Sister Zhou did it by surprise. I hope that brother can stand up and not fall under Sister Zhou's unfashionable words. But Lin Zhi wanted to say that their worries were completely unnecessary. Upon seeing the words and seductive glances sent by Zhou Xiaoyi, Lin Zhi replied lightly, you touched the rubber band on your pants crotch, that's the past we can't go back to. Zhou Xiaoyi. Negative emotion value plus 51. The audience couldn't help but clap and cheer when they saw Lin Zhi's reply. Ha ha ha, it's truly you, brother. I knew you wouldn't disappoint us. Why is it still rhymed? This guy is too handsome. Take out the rubber band and make it into a slingshot to hit your glass, ha ha ha. Why are there rubber bands on the crotch of my pants? But Zhou Xiaoyi still didn't give up. Brother's waist is not his waist, the curved sword that killed Sanlang. Brother's mouth is not his mouth, the clear water under the Anha bridge. Brother. Hiss. Upon seeing Zhou Xiaoyi's words, Lin Zhi immediately felt uncomfortable all over, with goosebumps on his arms. After taking a deep breath, Lin Zhi replied. Brother's hands are not hands, a punch makes you nauseous. Sister Zhou, please take care of yourself. Negative sentiment value plus 66. After the message is sent out. Lin Zhi looked at Zhou Xiaoyi in the live broadcast screen and clearly trembled twice. Breathing also became noticeably less smooth. Lin Zhi, on the other hand, was listening to the constantly rising negative emotions, and his face was about to burst with joy. But in this short period of time, the popularity of Zhou Xiaoyi's live broadcast room has risen to the top of the day. Those viewers who wander around on the live streaming platform are immediately attracted by the chat records of Lin Zhi and Zhou Xiaoyi as soon as they come to Zhou Xiaoyi's live broadcast room. This is the first time that audiences have seen Lin Zhi's unconventional way of chatting. Even many passers-by immediately turned into tap water, calling out friends and inviting others to come and see Zhou Jie eating. Even Jian Xiaomei, Aftershock Auntie, Camel Sister, and Rita noticed the abnormal heat in Zhou Xiaoyi's live broadcast room and came in to watch. Everyone gave Zhou Xiaoyi a rocket to go out. In the end, even the gold medal chef, Teacher Ma, came. The anchors have all arrived, and the audience in their live broadcast room naturally flooded into Zhou Xiaoyi's live broadcast room. As a result, the number of viewers in Zhou Xiaoyi's live broadcast room began to soar, and most of the people on the live broadcast platforms stayed in Zhou Xiaoyi's live broadcast room at the same time. The gold medal chef watched Zhou Xiaoyi's live broadcast in his own room. I naturally noticed the chat records between Zhou Xiaoyi and Lin Zhi at the first time. After carefully reading the chat records of the two, Teacher Ma also exclaimed to his audience in the live broadcast room that it was exciting. There's something about Zhou Xiaoyi's audience. At first glance, she has a strong ability to line up, and with just a few simple words, she completely dominates. Zhou Xiaoyi is now completely at a disadvantage. Oh. Thank you for the plane sent by Mr. Ma's diabetes made my teeth decay, thank you. Thank you. During the review, Teacher Ma sincerely thanked the less serious audience for the gift. The other anchors who were watching Zhou Xiaoyi's live broadcast room were also in a similar situation. The only difference may be the nesting behavior of several female anchors. Auntie Aftershock is looking at Sister Zhou, Rita, and Zhou Xiaoyi. If Zhou Xiaoyi opens Auntie Aftershock's live broadcast room now, it will immediately form a closed loop, and the situation of LPLs for beauties nesting with each other will occur. But now Zhou Xiaoyi has been scolded by Lin Zhi and feels uncomfortable all over her body. It seems like she has held her breath in her chest and feels uncomfortable without spitting it out. It doesn't matter how many anchors come in for rounds. Normally, after seeing them come in to brush gifts, there will be a wave of commercial hype, but Zhou Xiaoyi can't even care about these now. Looking at the chat box on the computer screen, Zhou Xiaoyi's eyes became firm, and she secretly made up her mind that if she didn't kill this water friend today, her own face would be slapped. Just now, she said her unfashionable love words, and her legs were weak. Now she was hated by a water friend, and Zhou Xiaoyi's competitiveness slowly began to beat. The audience in the live broadcast room and the hosts who came to watch Zhou Xiaoyi's live broadcast both felt a feeling. It's burning up. Just looking at Zhou Xiaoyi without saying a word, her gaze fixed as she began typing in the dialogue box. At dawn, I look at the sky, at dusk, I look at the clouds. I think of you when I walk, and I think of you when I sit. Lin Zhi was also a bit surprised to see what Zhou Xiaoyi had said this time. Yo ho, are you starting to become more artistic? Has anyone read this book? You are listening at novel.All. Feilu, an old author, has no guarantee of character and can become a eunuch at any time. Ha ha ha, I'm just joking with everyone. Say important things 3 times, this book has saved manuscripts, saved manuscripts, saved manuscripts. And the author's hand is still there, you can code it to be disabled at any time. This book, guaranteed by the author's personality, is absolutely non-toxic and absolutely enjoyable. Everyone can eat with confidence. Here's a rule for adding more rules. 100 flowers, add another chapter, no top. 20 reviews, 1 more chapter added, no top up. 5 comments, add 1 more chapter, no top. 1 reward plus 1 chapter, no cap on top. Do what you say. Everyone has flower review tickets, come crazy and throw them at the author. Chapter 6. 18 bends in the mountain road, after walking, there is a cerebral thrombosis. You are listening at novel.All. After the appearance of Zhou Jie's poem, the audience in the live broadcast room was greatly shocked and began to speak in the barrage. Tearful eyes. After seeing Sister Zhou for so long, it's the first time I've ever seen her again. I always thought Zhou Jie was a parenting anchor, but I underestimated her. Miss Zhou's move is too ruthless. The phrase, at dawn, I look at the sky and at dusk, I think of you when I walk, and I think of you when I sit, comes from Tang Yin, a poet from the Ming dynasty, in his poem, Cutting Plum Blossoms. Rain beats pear blossoms deep and closes the door. It is written about a woman's love for each other, and now when used here, any slight mistake by that brother will fall behind and enter Miss Zhou's rhythm. However, when Lin Zhi saw this sentence, he was only surprised and sighed. When Lin Zhi saw this sentence, he knew how to respond. After looking down and pondering for 2 seconds, my fingers quickly clicked on the phone screen a few times, and then clicked the send button. Sharpen the knife towards the pigs and sheep, the pigs are also you, and the sheep are also you. Sister Zhou. Ah. When the audience saw Lin Zhi's reply, they couldn't help but widen their eyes, and then the barrage began to roll wildly. Amazing, amazing. This is really Johnny Turtle peeing on the Bulbasaur frog seed. It's amazing. Zhou Jie used the original text, and this brother directly sublimated it. This is Mulan Ci, it's a perfect blow. Look at Sister Zhou, she's already confused. Sister Zhou is about to be killed by the matchmaker. Sister Zhou was also stunned by Lin Zhi's reply. However, because sufficient psychological construction has been done before, the mentality has not been greatly affected. After Lin Zhi's words were delivered, Zhou Xiaoyi was taken aback for a moment and her eyes suddenly lit up. Zhou Xiaoyi will also revise the unfashionable love words of the original ancient poetry in this way. After a burst of keyboard tapping, Zhou Xiaoyi sent another sentence. The east wind blooms flowers and trees at night, I want to stay at your house. With such a low-level adaptation, Lin Zhi is naturally at ease. The spring scenery in the garden cannot be closed, and old Wang next door has a shop available. Ding. Negative sentiment value plus 233. Lin Zhi was also slightly stunned when he heard the prompt sound of the system this time. The last time it was only 66 o'clock, how come there is so much more this time? Lin Zhi won't remember soon, what the system said is. The amount of negative emotional values obtained is related to popularity. Looking at the current number of people in Zhou Xiaoyi's live broadcast room, Lin Zhi understood what was going on. Because just after a 2-hit combo, the live broadcast room immediately became a sensation. A large number of bullet comments began to roll wildly, and the gift almost covered the entire screen. Lin Zhi saw this and even reached out to turn off the special effects of the gift. Because there were too many barrage comments from the audience, they all got stuck and would only scroll for a while after a while. After Lin Zhi turned off the gift special effects, his eyes scanned several bullet comments, and he almost burst into laughter. Ha ha ha, the first thing that came to my mind was that the garden was full of spring and couldn't be closed, but to my surprise, pigs were being slaughtered inside. Sleeping trough. It's so neat. Times 666, ah. Indeed. Times 888. This is really neat and neat. His mother, it's so neat. Wow. It's neat. It's neat. His mother amputation on the spot. Saw it. Water enthusiasts were scrolling through the barrage, but Zhou Xiaoyi frowned. Seeing that the literary and artistic offensive was not working, Zhou Xiaoyi began to act coquettishly again. But they just want to stay at your house. Lin looked straight at Zhou Xiaoyi on the computer screen, and then at Wei Xian's words. He couldn't help but feel a surge of excitement and a severe discomfort. Zhou Jie's spoiled behavior is really unbearable for ordinary people, but there is still room for criticism. The rent is 8,000 yuan, and I will pay for the water and electricity. Negative emotions plus 333. Ha ha ha. I'm laughing to death. Is this a high-level anti-kill? Good guy, this brother didn't forget to get rich on the way back to killing, ha ha ha. This brother actually wants to live with Sister Zhou. You're thinking nonsense, and you've really exposed your true nature. Manual dog head, Zhou Xiaoyi saw that acting coquettishly didn't work. Sitting in front of the computer, her eyebrows had already begun to furrow, and the smile on her face had disappeared. Now Zhou Jie's mentality has collapsed, and her face has started to turn pale. Finally, she suppressed the urge to criticize and decided to launch another attack in the end. Zhou Xiaoyi. I want to ask for a way to reach my brother's heart. Lin Zhi. The mountain road has 18 bends, and after walking, there is a cerebral thrombosis. Plus 120. Audience. Cerebral thrombosis, hahaha. You're so talented. For this cerebral thrombosis, I need 2 rockets. I don't have the money, I need 2 cards. Do you like it or not? Zhou Xiaoyi didn't give up and continued to reply, then I have to go too. What is that road? Upon seeing Zhou Xiaoyi's reply, Lin Zhi sneered and replied in 4 big words, that's a magical heavenly path. Plus 110. Audience. Take us into heaven on earth. Times 10,010, hey. There seems to be something wrong, just leave it alone and it's over. Then there was a frenzy of gifts scrolling across the screen. And at this moment, the other anchors who were staying in Zhou Xiaoyi's live broadcast room were watching the planes and rockets flying everywhere. Even superhumans often occur. Those anchors watched as the gifts in Zhou Xiaoyi's live broadcast room had already caught up with their live broadcast for half a year in this short period of time. One by one, everyone couldn't help but envy. However, with their good internet connection as anchors, they all know that the explosion of Zhou Xiaoyi's live broadcast room today is due to this water friend who is chatting with her. This unconventional way of chatting is also the first time they have seen it, and seeing the live broadcast effect so good, they have also developed a strong interest in Lin Zhi. Seeking flowers, seeking evaluation tickets, seeking monthly rewards tickets, seeking everything. Chapter 7. Zhou Xiaoyi+Daixiaomei equals 4A level scenic spot. You are listening at novel full.audio. Daixiaomei was the first to enter Zhou Xiaoyi's live broadcast room, so she saw all the chat records between Zhou Xiaoyi and Lin Zhi that Daixiaomei didn't pull. As an old anchor, Daixiaomei is very clear in her heart that after a prank like today, how much help will it be for a host's live streaming career? At that time, various edited videos will spread across the entire network, and even some people who used to not watch live broadcasts will be attracted to Zhou Xiaoyi's live broadcast room. And these don't have to be operated by the anchor themselves, they are all tap water for water enthusiasts. They will go everywhere to promote and attract traffic for Zhou Xiaoyi. Daixiaomei sat in her live broadcast room, watching her audience. One by one, they all know to call themselves old women, and the performance of the program is far inferior to that of Zhou Xiaoyi's water friend. So Daixiaomei thought to herself that they were all anchors on the same platform. Can we wait until Zhou Xiaoyi finishes broadcasting and lend this water friend to her for use? In addition to the silly little girl, there are also LPL for beauties, Anti-Aftershock, Rita, Xiaoyu, and also the Tuozi sister who is also a commentator, all of whom have similar ideas. They all know that the popularity of Zhou Xiaoyi's live broadcast room today was entirely due to this water friend who chatted with Zhou Xiaoyi. So they all secretly made up their minds, and when Zhou Xiaoyi finished broadcasting, they went to ask her for the audience's WeChat. At the same time, in order to speak up when the time comes, they all burst out one by one. At this moment, the phones of these anchors all shook at the same time. You should know that when they live stream, they will log in their work WeChat on their computer, while those who log in on their phones are their personal WeChat. Including Zhou Xiaoyi, they all use a dedicated account to chat with Lin Zhi. This is also to prevent them from leaking their WeChat when switching screens. After discovering that their phones were vibrating, these anchors all became confused. Because friends on personal WeChat know that it's their own live broadcast time now, they usually don't come to find themselves at this time. The current live broadcast screen is Zhou Xiaoyi's live broadcast room. So these anchors turned off their cameras one by one. And those viewers who stayed in these live broadcast rooms did not notice any abnormalities after seeing them. Mainly because Lin Zhi's quotes are really brilliant. The audience were all reciting the entire text one by one, and some even took notes. And the silly girl's movements are the fastest, she said to the audience in the live broadcast room. You guys watch Zhou Xiaoyi chat first, I'll turn off the camera for a while. After speaking, the silly little girl in the live broadcast room disappeared. And the audience in the Daixiaomei live broadcast room heard Daixiaomei's words. Because most of the audience has flooded into Zhou Xiaoyi's live broadcast room, there are only a few people left here. So only a few bullet comments jumped out. Old woman, are you eating papaya at time? Remember to eat more. Don't go, after you've gone to 4A level scenic spots, there's only A left. Taking advantage of the current shortage of people, I am big silly. What kind of 4A level scenic spot? This wave is clearly Audi A4. A certain female anchor live-streamed a monthly income of 1 million for the anti-backlash fighter. After the little girl turned off the camera, she reached out and took her phone over. After the phone screen lit up, a WeChat appearance also appeared on it. After unlocking her phone and entering WeChat, Daixiaomei saw that the message was sent from a communication group formed by several of their good relationship anchors. And the message in the group was posted by another anchor, the most disgusting pig prostitution teacher. Is that the program effect in Zhou Xiaoyi's live broadcast room? Is that person arranged by Zhou Xiaoyi? When Daixiaomei entered, she had not yet replied to the teacher's message about prostitution. However, after seeing the teacher's words, Daixiaomei also thought of this possibility, so she also entered a message and sent it out. Daixiaomei said, did you also see the prostitute teacher? I also had someone swiping the screen in my live broadcast room, so I found out that Zhou Xiaoyi's live broadcast room was busy. The message from Daixiaomei has just been sent out, and everyone else's messages have also been sent out one by one. Gold medal chef Teacher Ma said, I've also watched that brother. He's very showy. That person has something, even if it's arranged, it's still very impressive. Anti-aftershock. The number of people in Zhou Xiaoyi's live broadcast room is almost catching up with the S8 World Finals. Rita. I don't even know if Zhou Xiaoyi was arranged in advance or if it happened unexpectedly, but anyway, next week Xiaoyi may become the first sister to tease fish. Camel sister. This is too fierce. As soon as I checked the room, there were less than 100 live viewers left in the live broadcast room. Hippo Sedong. What are you talking about, Jimei? What's wrong with Zhou Xiaoyi? I just woke up and saw you talking about Zhou Xiaoyi. A group of anchors are discussing the conversation between Zhou Xiaoyi and Lin Zhi. Suddenly, an unidentified hippopotamus emerged. The start of the hippopotamus race was postponed for a long time today due to some unknown reason. I only woke up after sleeping until now and saw everyone chatting about Zhou Xiaoyi in the group. Hippo Sedong asked inexplicably. A sentence was added afterwards. Although I don't know what happened, I was greatly shocked. Seeking flowers, seeking evaluation tickets, seeking monthly rewards tickets, seeking everything. Chapter 8. Incense. Gambling monsters appear in full swing. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Seeing the hippopotamus Sedong, the silly girl explained to her. Sai Dong, you can understand by just taking a look at Zhou Xiaoyi's live broadcast room now. And at this moment, the prostitute teacher said another sentence. Everyone doesn't know if this was arranged by Zhou Xiaoyi beforehand, so it can't really be a coincidence, can it? At this moment, the gambling monsters that had been diving all along emerged. I think it's really possible that it's a coincidence. That person is even more promiscuous than a pig, and even with prior arrangements, we couldn't find such a person. At this moment, a message about the intellectual beauty, anti-aftershock, was sent out. Zhou Xiaoyi hasn't replied yet, maybe she hasn't looked at her phone. Let's wait for her to play and ask her how she's doing. After anti-aftershock finished speaking, several others also expressed their agreement. Just as a few people reached a consensus, the unidentified hippopotamus ran back and said in the group. Wow, there are so many people in Zhou Xiaoyi's live broadcast room. Who is the person chatting with her? She's making Zhou Xiaoyi feel autistic. After the news of Hippo Sedong was sent out, it was found that everyone had stopped sending messages. After browsing their chat records online, Hippo Sedong roughly understood what was going on. Then he got up from bed and prepared for the live broadcast. And the other anchors are still live streaming, after a little communication in the group. All the cameras were turned on again. On Zhou Xiaoyi's end, whether it was the vibration of her phone or the gifts she received from other anchors in the live broadcast room, it seemed like she hadn't seen them, just staring at the chat interface with Lin Zhi. After Lin Zhi retorted a line of lyrics, Zhou Xiaoyi didn't seem to have a big reaction when she saw it. She just looked at the computer screen with a pale face. But in his heart, he had already cut Lin Zhi to pieces. Zhou Xiaoyi looked at her saying an unfashionable love word, and Lin Zhi replied. I couldn't help but start thinking about where this person came from. Why did you just draw him in the lottery? The audience in the live broadcast room saw Zhou Xiaoyi's appearance, and the barrage began to look eerie. Sister Zhou is autistic, I didn't dream about it. Surprisingly, Sister Zhou was autistic by Xiaoyi. Don't say it, when Sister Zhou doesn't speak, she really looks pleasing to the eye. When this woman doesn't speak, she really has no flaws at all. Lin Zhi can no longer see the barrage here, but seeing Zhou Xiaoyi's reaction on the live broadcast screen, Lin Zhi is very clear in his heart. The calmer the reaction, the more it indicates that it is about to explode. I am a chocolate, cute and beautiful. After a moment of silence, Zhou Xiaoyi sent another sentence. After shaking his head, Lin Zhi thought it was all for negative emotions, so he continued to reply. You are a pickled Chinese cabbage fish, which is both sour and superfluous. Zhou Xiaoyi. I am your erguotu, both obedient and headstrong. Lin Zhi pondered for 2 seconds and said, you are a yellow braised chicken, which is both yellow, stuffy, and spicy. Plus 250, plus 180. The number of viewers in Zhou Xiaoyi's live broadcast room has already exploded. The backstage of Douyu also detected the surge in popularity of Zhou Xiaoyi's live broadcast room. 3 super managers were immediately dispatched to Zhou Xiaoyi's live broadcast room. With so many people watching at the same time, if there is even a slight violation, the super management will mercilessly close Zhou Xiaoyi's live broadcast room. The social impact of so many people is really too great. Even a simple joke can be interpreted in various ways. Douyu platforms may be entangled in various legal disputes due to such incidents. The barrage in Zhou Xiaoyi's live broadcast room can no longer be watched. Lin Zhi's miscellaneous notebook has even gotten stuck, and the barrage in the live broadcast room has not been moved for a long time. However, the live broadcast footage can still be viewed normally. However, just after Lin Zhi's words were spoken, anger had already appeared in Zhou Xiaoyi's eyes in the live broadcast room. The audience in the live broadcast room watched as the two suddenly engaged in a rapid confrontation, but Zhou Jie was quickly defeated and sat there, her face turning blue and white. Everyone started speaking on the barrage again. Sister Zhou even pulled out her ultimate moves, but it's obvious that brother has a higher rank. Do there really exist people in this world who refuse to enter? Can such people really find girlfriends? What kind of woman does a real man want? Women only affect the speed at which I draw my sword. Without women in my heart, drawing my sword is natural and divine. I have already memorized everything, I will go face to face with the scumbag later. Lin Zhi, on the other hand, listened to the continuous beeps of the system and his face was already filled with joy. Just now, when the negative emotion value reached 1000, the system's lottery wheel had also appeared. However, it is still in competition with Zhou Xiaoyi, so Lin Zhi is not busy studying this lottery wheel. And Zhou Xiaoyi has been forcefully suppressing her anger because she is currently live streaming. But Lin Zhi's last sentence completely broke Zhou Xiaoyi's defense and quickly typed a few times on the keyboard. "You're a shredded potato, tacky, funny, and loser. Negative sentiment value plus 666. Seeking flowers, seeking evaluation tickets, seeking monthly rewards tickets, seeking everything." Chapter 9. Defensive breaks, Sister Zhou. Defensive breaks, Sister Zhou. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Seeing Zhou Xiaoyi's last words, take a look at the live broadcast room where she is pointing at the computer screen and angrily talking to the audience in the microphone. The girl took the initiative to send him unfashionable love words, and he would not accept them, but he would also retaliate. A straight man like him doesn't deserve love. The audience in the live broadcast room saw Zhou Xiaoyi's appearance and all scrolled together. Defeat broken. Defeat broken. Sister Zhou broke. Times 10,086, she's in a hurry. She's in a hurry. Times 12,138, Sister Zhou, please don't talk yet. I almost got over it. Lin Zhi naturally heard Zhou Xiaoyi's words, and looking at her appearance, he knew that the heat had arrived. So Lin Zhi finally replied to Zhou Xiaoyi in WeChat. "You're such an old sow wearing a bra," one said after another, "Wow." After seeing Lin Zhi's last words, Zhou Xiaoyi, who had already broken her defense, immediately stopped in Bengbu and collapsed on her pinky sports chair. And the water enthusiasts in the live broadcast room saw Zhou Jie being defeated by a good brother, and everyone was like celebrating the Chinese New Year, frantically scrolling through the screen. "Ha ha ha, old sow, good guy, I'm just good guy. Oh, this guy is really torturing a woman." Sister Zhou put on her pain mask. Look, Miss Zhou has become autistic and hasn't spoken for a long time. I'm laughing crazy. My mom asked me if I had a seizure, but I couldn't stop, so she's currently smoking me. Help." Zhou Xiaoyi sat slumped on the esports chair, took a few deep breaths, and trembling, reached out her hand and clicked on the live streaming software, directly shutting down the live broadcast. The audience was still happily barraging in the last second. Suddenly, I saw that the live broadcast room went black, indicating that the live broadcast had ended. This move caught the audience off guard in the live broadcast room. What's wrong with this? Just break the defense and download it directly. No one will run away after losing against water friends. Are you staying in Bengbu now? Don't leave. It's broken. She turned off the live broadcast. I haven't recorded those vulgar remarks yet. Do you have any brothers who have recorded the screen? I just arrived and haven't watched all of these vulgar comments. I hope to see today's live broadcast replay on Bilibili within 5 minutes, and I hope you don't feel at ease. Sister Zhou has turned off the live broadcast. Does anyone know that brother? I still want to learn from him. After Zhou Xiaoyi went live, not only did the audience in the live broadcast room become confused. The anchors who stayed in Zhou Xiaoyi's live broadcast room also looked at the computer screen with a bewildered expression. The silly girl looked at the already black screen of Zhou Xiaoyi's live broadcast room and murmured to herself. Isn't that right? With such high popularity, it's just a matter of dropping the broadcast. The live broadcast rooms of LPL's 4 beauties are all dolls for each other, so all 4 of them saw Zhou Xiaoyi suddenly drop off at the same time. The 4 beautiful commentators and hosts each stayed in their own live broadcast room, staring big and small. As long as you are in the broadcasting industry, you know that Zhou Xiaoyi's popularity today is not normal for her to broadcast like this now. With such popularity, if the revenue of this day goes smoothly, it can even catch up with the combined income of previous years. And if it operates well, future advertising costs, appearance fees, and so on will all skyrocket. The number of fans is water, and the audience watching her is water. And today is the perfect time to increase followers. But Zhou Xiaoyi suddenly dropped the broadcast without saying a word. LPL's four beauties were all full of doubts, and they couldn't understand why Zhou Xiaoyi did this. The focus of Zhou Xiaoyi's work is on live streaming. After all, commentary competitions can't earn much money. At this moment, the aftershock ant suddenly thought of an astonishing possibility. And the more I thought about it, the more I felt it made sense, and in the end, my eyes even widened to show a shocked expression. Anti-aftershock silently thought in her heart. Today, Zhou Xiaoyi's water friend couldn't really have been randomly encountered. Yes, this way it can all be explained. If it was really arranged in advance, then Zhou Xiaoyi wouldn't have collapsed like this and just streamed directly. Hiss. After thinking for a while, Anti-Aftershock took a deep breath. She was taken aback by her own ideas. The most outrageous thing is that the more you think about it, the more reasonable you feel. If we didn't plan ahead, there would be too many coincidences needed to achieve the effect of Zhou Xiaoyi's program today. Anti-Aftershock learned from the barrage in her live broadcast that the water friend chatting with Zhou Xiaoyi was actually Wei Xin, who was added to the lottery. This is also too coincidental. With so many people in Zhou Xiaoyi's live broadcast room, she happened to have drawn this person. Unfortunately, this person is so outstanding, which has pushed the popularity of Zhou Xiaoyi's live broadcast room to such a high level. When she thought of this, Anti-Aftershock discovered another problem. If it's all just a coincidence, then it seems that the key to the problem is the person chatting with Zhou Xiaoyi. Today, it can be said that Zhou Xiaoyi's popularity was all brought by the winning water friend. Anti-Aftershock swallowed a mouthful of saliva. Since that's the case, then the next thing is interesting. It can even be said, those who have straight men will have the world. After this analysis, the Aftershock ant came to a conclusion. Most other anchors are also aware of this issue. After Zhou Xiaoyi finished broadcasting, while the audience had not yet returned, they all opened WeChat and started calling out to Zhou Xiaoyi in the group. Even several male anchors, including the most provocative pig prostitution teacher, gold medal chef teacher Ma, and gambling monster ugly joke, have developed a strong interest in Lin Zhi. Seeking flowers, seeking evaluation tickets, seeking monthly rewards tickets, seeking everything.